Quack, 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 quack.
Why are you weird?
I don't know. Anyway, welcome to Movie Corner. Today we are talking about The Beekeeper. Because bees.
Oh my god, that movie is so good.
Like I told them in the theater, this movie was if John Wick, Agent 47, James Bond, and fucking Punisher all had a massive orgy, and a child came from that orgy.
Also, for any legal purposes, I do not condone or endorse any acts of vigilantism, despite all of the gushing over the acts of vigilantism you're about to hear. So for legal purposes, I did not encourage you to do shit. For legal purposes.
I mean, you shouldn't be encouraging anyone to do anything anyway.
I am encouraging it in the context of the movie. I don't know why you would translate that to real world. I mean, it might solve some problems, but I don't know why you would get that conclusion from me saying that the movie was good.
Alright.
Start off with epilepsy warnings. There are...
I wish I knew. There's a reason I wear my hat in movies I expect lights to be in.
There are emergency vehicle lights, and there are a few scenes where the tech bros have some, like, kind of rave lighting going on.
Yeah.
And a lot of muzzle flashing. If your epilepsy is not severe, like if you have time to look down before it will cause a reaction, you should be alright. But if it is very severe, wait until this is on streaming and watch it in a well-lit room.
Yeah. That being said...
Also, you know, blood, guts, gore, murder, there is an off-screen suicide, but you see the body, so there's your trigger warnings.
Yeah. So...
Also, lots of broken bones. Kind of made me queasy.
Can I talk now?
No.
Anyway, so... This is, you know, the new Jason Statham movie. You know, I am a big fan of vigilante films. So this is one of the ones that I dragged them to. And...
There wasn't much dragging. You told me that, like, as soon as I saw that the setup was a...
Well, we saw the trailers.
Yeah. As soon as I saw that the setup was a phone scammer getting his shit wrecked, I'm like, alright, I'm in.
But basically the plot, like she said, a company that is, you know, known for scamming people, getting...
May I summarize real quick, because I have a real quick way to summarize this. Logan Paul wannabe, who's been scamming people, gets his absolute shit wrecked by, you know...
That's not the scam! That's not a summary! That's you fucking stabbing Logan Paul.
I mean, I'm just saying it is very clear who inspired that look.
Besides that, the entire thing is a scammer who owns multiple companies is, you know... I don't want to say the final twist because...
Yeah, we won't say who...
While I expected it once part of it was explained, but...
The reveal was nice.
So this specific, you know, vigilante, he's part of a group called the Beekeepers. Kind of like, you know, John Wick's aspect of, you know... not real spies, but, you know... people who take people out and, you know...
Basically, Beekeepers is a U.S. government project. They call them beekeepers because in a beehive there are certain bees who just kind of act of their own will to, you know, take care of threats to the hive. And that's basically the U.S. government project, is like, we need some people to just be off-the-grid ghosts, just under their own free will, no orders to anyone, to kind of keep the order. And they kind of have a blank check and all the resources.
So... He's retired, he's trying to be, you know, actually, if in the beginning it feels like it's an actual romantic relationship,
yeah.
And the person that he's living with ends up being screwed over by these people. I need to find my charger. Idiots. Anyway.
Okay.
Alright, so, yeah, we're back, all that kind of crap. The cat is trying to slide his fat ass through the door. But, as I was saying, you know, the person he's living with ends up being scammed. And this person runs a charity. So, like, this company takes $2 million from a charity.
And all of her savings and annuities and checking and everything else besides.
It's so fucked up. So, you know, as John Wick would say, I think I'm out of retirement. And he goes tracking each person down one by one until he can make his way to the top.
It's very John Wick in the whole, okay, I was trying to play nice and mild-mannered and not kill anybody anymore, but you just pushed the fucking nuclear button.
Right? There's really good fight scenes. I think my favorite scene has to be the barn scene.
I've worked with a lot of heavy machinery and power tools. I will not go within 10 feet of a bandsaw, table saw, or drill press unless I am fully aware of any and all hazards, like trip hazards, and I have my eyes on it. Because those things will fuck you up in half a second. Like...
his hands. He's got a nubs.
Okay, look, having worked, I never ran the bandsaw, mostly because I looked at our old falling apart bandsaw that was 2 seconds away from throwing the blade, and I'm like, fuck that, John, your turn. But I've been around them, and that was my intrusive thought. Every time I work with, like, heavy machinery, my intrusive thought of, what if I just sliced off all of my fingers? Well, no longer wondering, it looks like bony sausages, and I do not like it. Like, you can ask her, I was cringing the whole time. I'm like, I love it.
I think that was the first time you've ever grabbed me in a movie.
And it's not like I was scared, it's just like, oh god, I can imagine that too well.
A little too well. But
I was a little disappointed no one's face went under the drill press, because there's definitely a drill press, and I wanted to see that, because that's another intrusive thought. Just line the eye hole up with it and just...
Now I just know what you thought about the entire time you were in your stuff.
Yeah, no, I worked with tools like that for 9 months, and every day it's the intrusive thought of, I wonder what would happen. Bad will happen.
Very much so. So basically, you know, that is the plot. He makes his way to each area, working his way up and down the, you know, totem pole, gets to the middle person and
tortures the information out of him with a stapler to the face.
Now, on the other side of the coin, we have the FBI agent, who happens to be the daughter of the woman that he loves. So she's torn between letting... In the movie, his name is Adam. But letting Adam do what he's doing, but at the same time doing her job.
Yeah, Agent Wiley is the one that I related to most, because he literally says at one point, I mean, he's right, so we could just pretend we don't see anything. Right? Basically, I'm paraphrasing, but I'm like, yeah, I'm with Wiley on this one, and that is why I could never be an FBI agent, because I'd just look at some cases and be like, well...
Now,
I see nothing. I've lost this file.
Since you've seen this and you know how, you know, Hero works, do you think it would make a good Hero episode?
I think it would, especially because I want to see you make jokes about the Wolverine wannabe. Like, man literally looked like he's ripped out of a 1980s
I thought about
Wolverine
doing
comic.
You know, I still haven't done any of the Punisher movies.
Yeah.
Punisher is going to get its own month, but there is plenty of vigilante one-off movies.
Speaking of superheroes, I would like to point out that Clay has a lower civilian body count than fucking Superman.
Right?
Like, one thing that I noticed throughout... Let me do this, because I noticed this. One thing I noticed throughout the movie is if it is... Like, he gives, in the very first scene, when he goes to fuck up the first call center, he asks, do you know who you're working for? When they show that they don't care who they're fucking working for, that's when he takes them out. And when he goes up to burn the call center down, he flat out says, anyone who wants to not die today, get the fuck out now. Like, he is telling people, he is giving them the opportunity to run. Like, not the people who run it, but the people who have just been sucked in. He's like, get out now or you're with
forever hold your Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, he's like, get the fuck out now or I'm not responsible for what happens to your stupid ass. And also, the SWAT team. Like, we've seen him take out, we've seen him take out people with no issue. Also, to anyone who thinks you need a gun to protect yourself, this man killed like 8 people with a fire extinguisher, so maybe it's a skill issue, get good. But like, with the SWAT teams, yeah, he shoots a few of them, but they're all wearing like the bulletproof, like, you know, you don't know if you're gonna get shot, you're wearing Kevlar. He shoots the Kevlar. He
never aims for the face,
unless they are a mercenary or someone he knows is directly on the payroll of the people doing the bad shit. Those people, he will shoot in the face without a second thought. But anyone, FBI, SWAT, Secret Service, whatever, like, if they are not directly on the payroll of the bad guys, if he has any plausible deniability that they might not be involved directly in what's going on, he'll break some bones and might throw you over the stairs, but he's not going to directly kill you. And he will do his best to not do that unless you try to kill him, and then, well, that's on you for attacking him, because you probably should have just left when you had the chance.
And like I said, I really did enjoy this movie, and it's got her wanting to see the Punisher movies.
Oh yeah.
Mind you, Warzone is rated R like this is, but the original Punisher was PG-13.
I just think this just kind of ticks the same boxes as John Wick and Leverage. Especially, like, this is very, like, Leverage. If you like Leverage, but you thought this could be a lot more violent, this is for you.
Yeah.
It is the same sort of justice porn of these guys that we all know. We've all been screwed over or had someone close to us screwed over, even if not to the point of that. Like, we've all, known someone who fell for some kind of scam or almost did, or at least gotten the scam.
Or you've fallen for it yourself.
Yeah, or we've all at least gotten the scam emails, but thankfully known it was a scam and gone, and not fucking today, Satan, and, blocked it and reported and whatever. So, like, we all know these people exist. These are very real things, and we all know how hard it is to persecute them. Like, the FBI agents in the movie, you're like, yeah, these guys are just gonna get off if we bring this up in trial, because they're just gonna go, oh, well, this elderly retiree wanted to wire me all of their money, so really it's not my fault. It was a gift. Like, and they just get off scot-free.
Which is freaking stupid, but
so
that's neither here
this
nor
is all very much the category of justice porn of this is something that the legal system would never be able to take care of. Like, yeah, we need those legal, checks and balances in place because it prevents abuses, but also there's some cases that definitely fall through the cracks. And that's where these lovely vigilante movies come in. And again, for legal purposes, not condoning this in real life. You do you, I'm not legally responsible for whatever you choose to do. Let's just putting that out there.
Like, she once again has taken over the, talking points.
It's a lot of stabby and shooty and violence, and I like it.
You just don't like to let me talk during these.
No, I don't. Okay.
But if you're big on the vigilante type movies, you'll enjoy this. It's honestly if the Punisher went even more batshit crazy than he already is. And I think I need to show you the Punisher video game from Xbox.
Probably.
Because that shit was so fun. And I'm surprised they let you do as much as the shit you can do in that game. You can fucking put people through a chainsaw. Or a table saw.
That kind of brings up, what was your favorite kill? Or even favorite, disarming. We'll extend it to that.
Disarming or dishanding?
Either. Your favorite violent way to take down an enemy, whether or not he's...
Honestly, the gas station fight was awesome.
Okay, that other beekeeper, they send another beekeeper after him at one point, And
like, then the second he kills this other beekeeper, they're just like, yeah, we're staying neutral now.
Yeah, the rest of the beekeepers
don't
are just
fucking
like,
call
fuck
us again.
This shit, you know? And the whole time, I'm just sitting here like, this whole problem could be solved if you just shove the kid who's been running all of this shit outside with like a neon sign saying, beekeeper, get me, and everybody else go the fuck home. Like, that. The way I would have shoved this kid out so fast. I'm not gonna
now you're pregnant?
I'm not gonna say who his mom was because I'll let that be like the
that's the big
the reveal. I think I kind of let a hint slip, but you'll see it. But I will say she was the one person like in that side of things that I felt any sympathy for, because it's made clear that she did not know exactly what he was doing. She knew he's like a coke addict and like doing all of this weird shit that he should not be doing. She didn't know he was scamming people.
And when it gets to the end...
And then when what happens to him, she has a lot of mom grief that was kind of very visceral. And the one part of it that I kind of... For my sanity, I wish she had been more nonchalant, but it makes a lot more sense that she wasn't. And ow, if that wasn't a gut punch. That's a case of like, your kid's a dick. I don't feel sorry for him. You, on the other hand, I feel sorry for.
Right?
I think my favorite kill was the elevator.
Oh, that was cool.
That was... I don't know if I can go in an elevator for a while now after seeing what happened to the one. Just...
Squishy.
Yeah, literally. I hope all of these FBI agents who had to see that got therapy after this. Like, anyone who was responsible...
You act like America lets people have therapy.
Yeah, that's true. Please donate to, get... I'm not even kidding. There are charities that do mental health for veterans and shit. Please donate to them, because the government's not doing shit. But yeah, like, I really hope anyone, who had to do cleanup from that shit got therapy, because they're gonna need it. They're going to fucking need it.
So overall, I'd say 7.5. For me, it was a tad bit too predictable. Like, you know, it's got the cliche vigilante style of predictability. Once you know who the characters are, you know what's going to happen.
I'd say about 8 out of 10. I'm not going to give it any, you know, it's not going to win any awards for I never saw that coming, best twist, best writing. But it was really good. There were some nice little moral quandaries and characters having to make some decisions.
And it's getting a lot better. I looked up the reviews on the way home. It is getting a lot more... This was expected to be like a C-tier action flick, but... People are already wanting a sequel.
I mean, there was sequel baiting at the end.
It was a lot of sequel baiting.
But yeah, like, it's not winning any awards for spectacular writing, but it was good. It was I won't call it a cookie-cutter action movie, because it wasn't. There were some unique elements, which I think... There comes a point when you're in a genre and, like, you just have to accept that a lot of the story beats will be predictable.
Over and over. I mean, it's the
a certain
whole
genre.
superhero thing.
Like, superheroes, romances, like, action movies, there's certain story beats you're gonna see. You know that.
You know me. I've literally made the list of all the superhero cliches.
Yes, and yet you still look at romance movies and be like, but it's all the same. Like, yes, and so is every superhero movie, ma'am. Oh, don't tell me, are there dead parents in this one?
Rule number 1, you can't be a superhero without a dead parent.
At least
one of them.
Probably more. Probably both.
And then Peter...
They're dead siblings.
And in Spider-Man's case, everyone dies around him.
But it was good. A lot of the action scenes were really well done. I did like the effects. The effects were good. Some of the, like, things he does, like, some of the acrobatics were really great. Like, using the dead guy as a cantilever to jump down from the ceiling. Like, well, he wasn't dead when he went up, but he was dead by the time he hit the ceiling and his neck snapped, I'm sure.
Right?
Like, it's great.
And I love the hallway scene, especially how it was recorded.
The one in the glass hallway towards the end?
Yeah. A lot of movies and shows, since Daredevil did it, have started putting in hallway scenes where everything's one cut. Daredevil started it, and when you finally sit and watch it with me, I'll point out the first one that they ever did. But it is really... I've noticed a lot more action movies are doing one-shot shots instead of jump cut fight scenes now.
But, which is good for my motion sickness. One thing I will say about that scene is just go ahead and cover your ears when the knife goes in the glass, because they do use the sound,
that sounded terrible.
It made me want to rip my teeth out. I don't know if that makes sense, but
I mean, in my case, I just gotta do this.
If you have sensory issues, you might know what I mean. But yeah, just go ahead and cover your ears.
That joke was terrible.
That's why I ignored it. Just go ahead and cover your ears when that knife goes in the mirrored wall, because it is bad. I mean, kudos to them for having the balls to use that sound effect for realism, but ow.
But that being said, thank you for watching. Go check out Beekeeper, and
if anyone hears anything about a sequel, please send it our way, because I want a sequel.
And if you have seen the movie, let me know if you think Heroes should do an episode on it. That